The dawn of the new campaign at dusk in the Sunshine State. Fort Wayne in their first ever professional match visit FC Naples, the only USL League One team to host a playoff game in their inaugural campaign last year. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Philip Galati. Tonight's match is presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Care for every goal. Before we kick off 2026, let's take a look back at 2025 for the hosts. Always tricky to build a team from scratch, but head coach Matt Poland and staff did that and then some. An excellent campaign that saw them finish in 4th place with a staggering record at home. Coach Poland called last year, quote, an emotional roller coaster, but the connection the players built with the fans here at home made this team so hard to beat. A lot of changeover with the roster, though, in the new campaign. Carson Henderlong departs for the championship. Meanwhile, the center back pairing of Dengler and Evans, both named to the USL League One first team, depart for other League One clubs. 3 big additions to talk about, though. Taylor Gray up top, Luca Mastrantonio joins from AB Alta at the back, and Aiden Macias spent the last 3 seasons with forward Madison, one of the best tempo players in the game, joins FC Naples for 2026. And tonight's player to watch, presented by Parker Hudson Homes, is Chris Garcia, another former forward Madison player, usually played on the flank at the back. Left wing back, right wing back, it doesn't matter, he can do it all. Tonight, though, he leads the line up top. Head coach Matt Poland says there's a lot in his boots in the final third, and now positionally, he'll get that chance to strut his stuff. Meanwhile, a warm welcome to the new team on the block. Fort Wayne FC have been incredibly successful for the last couple seasons in USL League Two. They've brought 4 of their star players with them to USL League One and a number of other key additions as well. Vern Shipman, Ryan Betcher, Reed Sproat, just to name a few. Head coach Mike Avery has been there since day one, and now in new colors, Fort Wayne joined the professional ranks. Tonight's player to watch is Ryan Betcher for the visitors, a man with long ties to this community. Last year, joined halfway through the campaign for Union Omaha and hit the ground running. 11 goal contributions, was second in the team for goals scored with 8. His head coach, Mike Avery, says he can do just about anything in and around the box and will look to provide goals all season long. The 111-day wait for USL League One soccer is almost over. FC Naples looking to soar right back to the top. The new team on the block in a new shade, ready to strut their stuff. Kickoff on the other side of the break with lineups as well. We'll see you soon.
Luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. At Parker Hudson Homes, we craft bespoke residences where elegance meets effortless comfort. From custom builds to refined remodels, every detail is designed around you, your style, your vision, your way of living. Create a home that's truly yours and discover Parker Hudson Homes today.
See your shot land on a perfectly manicured fairway. Hear the pop of a paddle meeting the ball. Feel the excitement of cheering on your team for the big win. And when the final whistle blows or the last putt drops, the day is far from over. Because here, world-class play meets white sand beaches and award-winning dining. One visit and you'll see why this is paradise in every sense. Experience it yourself in Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the host and head coach Matt Poland, Lalo Delgado gets the nod in between the six. The Oxnard, California native, one of a few returners on this back line, most notably Julian Cisneros on the left, Max Glasser on the right. Adam Macias joins from forward Madison. He is the tempo man in midfield. Kevin O'Connor to his left, another returner with Taylor Gray leading the line up top. 1 goal last year in 24 appearances in USL League One. As for Fort Wayne FC, 4 at the back has been the go-to in a number of professional starts as well. Starting with Ari Briscoe in the net, the 24-year-old New Jersey native was a Golden Glove winner in USL League Two. JP Jordan in midfield joins from joining from Texoma. And Lilian Ricol, the Frenchman, played his college ball with UCF right here in the Sunshine State. Was a conference newcomer of the year and tournament MVP in his lone season of Division I college ball. Naples on the right side of your screen in the navy and sky blue trim. Fort Wayne on the left with the autumn gold and black. And history begins at PCSC Stadium in South Florida. Immediately won by Torreya, stretching his legs. Wanted to break at pace. Luis Garcia too wide. Garcia one to watch tonight for the host just because he is so high up the pitch. Last year with forward Madison played on that back line, sometimes on the left, sometimes on the right, sometimes down the middle. Has the ability to carry the ball into the final third, whip those crosses in, but now starts on that front line with Taylor Gray through the middle and Andres Farine to the left of him, the man who scored the very first goal in club history. Here is Farine. Overlapping run made, but nothing on. Looks to be 5 at the back, out of possession for Fort Wayne. Naples is a team that can go direct with a lot of pace. It's a wise move to have bodies back there for the visitors, just to make sure nothing untoward happens on the Route 1 ball. Give and go for Torres, moved along to Gray. Not on the same wavelength and picked right back up in midfield with Adam Macias. Mastrantonio. Glasser. Not in midfield and still loose. Vying for it was Take Healy in his professional debut. Joining from North Carolina State, went all the way to the College Cup final last year. Scored a late goal, beautiful goal at that. Sent the game to overtime. Wolfpack ultimately falling in the end to Washington Huskies. Take Healy finished his college career with goals in 4 straight postseason games. Has that clutch gene in him as Farine goes down and the referee will award a free kick. Edson Carvajal, the man with the whistle. Just shy of 30 yards out. It's a clever touch from Farine, and Reed Sproat is the guilty party. The hometown kid, Reed Sproat, played the very first game in Fort Wayne history. Over 50 appearances for the club. Kevin O'Connor will stand over it. To his left is Julian Cisneros. Four in the wall for Ari Briscoe. It's a long way away, but not impossible. Gonna take something special though. O'Connor sizing it up. It's through the wall. I think Briscoe got a touch to that, and he did. Chance to settle into the game for the man on his professional debut, Ari Briscoe. Does well to get across his line. May have been going off target, but as a goalkeeper, you never want to take chances. To be sure is to be safe. First corner of the night played short. Lovely training ground sequence. Cut away, but danger still present, and then flicked over the bar by some height to end the chance. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game, presented by Florida's Paradise Coast. For Naples, it's get connected. Last year, Carson Henderlong was scoring almost all the goals. Now they have three very talented players up front. Can the midfield and the back line connect with them? Make sure that those players are getting free. Meanwhile, for the visitors, it's all about expressing themselves on the ball, showing what they're capable of. A chance to do that here. Great save by Delgado. Lightning quick counter for Fort Wayne. Well taken chance. Started with Lilian Ricol. The Frenchman bursting away. Tough angle, bouncing ball, keeps it low. Delgado with excellent positioning to save it off his chest. Very crowded 6-yard box for this corner kick. Played to the near post and off the far post. Still alive with Diaz and cleared away once again. Nearly the dream start for Fort Wayne FC in USL League One. Looked to be maybe a touch off a Naples player last, some confusion at the near post with all those bodies right in front of Lalo Delgado. Fort Wayne putting the pressure on. Michael Rempel with a long throw. O'Connor meets it. Second ball is a foot race. Rempel shields it out of play. An almost moment for the Fort Wayne fans watching along the official watch party at J.K. O'Donnell's. Hernandez poked along to Ricol, looking to square it. Still alive, bouncing once and twice and poked along by J.P. Jordan. Recycled but given away. Diaz. Visitors really starting to settle into things now. This is exactly what head coach Mike Gainbridge was looking for. Saying they want to be on the ball as much as possible. When they give it away, can they get it right back? The high pressure. Time and again in the final third as Ricol just misfires. Injury report is presented by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro, big enough to handle serious cases. No injuries though tonight. Delgado, poor pass, was nearly chipped. Again, that high pressure from Fort Wayne wreaking havoc for FC Naples. Looking to settle into this match on home soil. Yet the heart rate for those players still spiking. Joshua Yoder, one of those players who will likely have some nerves tonight as he makes his pro debut in USL League One. Lovely move on the far side by Glasser. And an equally impressive sliding challenge by J.P. Jordan, who's fired up after the play. Consistent starter last year, Texoma. Gray, clever back heel. The shot from distance is blocked at the top of the key. And a foul coming out will end the chance. Going down was James Musa, former Indy 11 man. For 300 appearances across his professional career. Diaz lost his footing. Maybe Taylor Gray could have taken it himself. See if you had a thought about it. Bravely blocked in front by Reed's throat. Throat, after making his debut with Fort Wayne in their inaugural match, went on to have a successful college career. San Diego State, most notably. Head coach Mike Avery says Fort Wayne through and through. Born and raised here. See his journey from the first game in club history through the college ranks and to now. It's really exciting. Ryan Betcher, one of the big name signings from USL League One company in Union Omaha. Another man with a terrific 2025 campaign. Hernandez. Searching ball is too heavy. First 11 minutes and change down. Fort Wayne history in USL League One. It's been back and forth thus far. That's to be expected with the season opener, that both teams just struggling to impose their philosophy for now. As Cisneros is on cleanup duty. Cias wins the first header, O'Connor the second, and clipped is Garcia. Look to have numbers there, FC Naples. May have been a necessary challenge. Just a half second late was James Musa going for the ball. Nothing more than a simple foul. Line breaking ball, settled by O'Connor, but intercepted. Now it paced the other way. Rico will get there. Hernandez showing short. Time to swing it in. Instead back for Rico. He will do the honor himself. Or clearance. Joshua Yoder conceding the second corner kick of the night for the visitors. Lilian Rico, the Paris native, already making a name for himself in this one. Corner kicks are presented by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. Javier Hamas to take it. Outswinging ball. Different shape for Fort Wayne this time, a lot more spread out. Naples able to deal with it for now. Rempel forced all the way back. It's about as good of an outcome as you can hope for the hosts. Connor's clearance deflected straight up. Garcia, clever idea, but nobody making the run. Gray coming back to make the tackle. Not once, but twice. Lined up through the middle, now on the left side of that front three. A little bit of fluidity for head coach Matt Poland in the shape up top. Free kick right in front of the FC Naples bench. It's Musa once again. Maybe running low on warnings from the referee, and again, it's a clever play. Musa caught out, has to make the challenge. Over 230 appearances in his career across the USL Championship. James Musa. Free kick. Comes up empty once again for FC Naples. Betcher couldn't corral it. Garcia's checked back for it. Looking long is Yoder. Gray with a heavy touch. Now Jordan. Scampering away and is brought down unfairly. Andres Farin committing the foul. Colombian with 3 goals, 3 assists last year for FC Naples. Made his professional debut back in 2020 in the top flight of his home country. Sproat under duress. Had to send it long. Jordan couldn't find a teammate in Auburn gold. Well now, the referee's gonna have a talking to. There were some words said in protest of the decision by Javier Hamas. Gotta be careful not to talk himself into the book. Aggressive touch from Yoder, opens it up for Gray. Farin, rather Macias seeing the switch. This is Garcia now, waiting for his window. Trivella pass. Cisneros, Garcia. Again, Naples looking short in and around the box. Haven't seen a ton of promising crosses in yet. Lovely play, though, on the defensive side of things for Aiden Macias. It's exactly what he brings to the table. Over 70 appearances the last 3 campaigns for forward Madison. Excellent two-way player, and he's starting this move now with Garcia. Lovely find, and it nearly fell to the feet of Andres Farin. Garcia again using the outside of his right boot to guide it in between 2 defenders. Just too heavy on the pass. Maybe if he opens up with his left, he can place it a bit better, but again, the ideas are there for FC Naples. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Now, compared to those first 10 minutes or so, FC Naples do have a lot more breathing room on the ball. Able to progress things. The one-time, two-time passing is starting to find feet. Settling into the game. Fort Wayne They'll have to pay that no mind, and they'll have to get back in defense. Taylor Gray can keep this in, and he does, and he wins a free kick in promising real estate. Well, we keep it in bounds, and Thiago Dias is late to that. Swing of the leg, but the referee says no. Sounded like a whistle went there. Instead, it is a goal kick. Taylor Gray, despite 24 appearances last year in League One, only made 8 starts. He'll want to jump out of the blocks in Week 1. Already seeing some chances. First time he's really tried to drive at goal, though. Usually he's playing those one-time passes with his back to goal, trying to bring his teammates into the fray. Now it's Farine on the near side. Great ball in. Good header away as well. Healy, just enough for Armas to settle. And gives it right back to Tague Healy, who goes over at midfield, and that will be the first booking of the night. Mark Torres, the first yellow card of the campaign for FC Naples, despite fervent protests. Tague Healy, well, he is pulled back there. Certainly falls down in a manner that would leave Mark Torres upset. But it is a foul, and it stops a promising attack, and thus I think yellow card's the right call there. That's the sort of X factor you can expect to see from Tague Healy all season long. His head coach Mike Avery says, plain and simple, he's just a fighter. Very competitive. Every time in training, he fights for every point, every rule that was broken. Even makes Coach Avery laugh. It's just the grit that he shows. Healy now heading it on. Almost fell to Vetcher. Connor does well to keep it in play. Nearing the halfway point of the first half. Philip Galati with you. Opening weekend of the 2026 USL League One campaign. Scoreless between FC Naples and Fort Wayne, with 1 yellow card thus far. And it will stay that way for now as Ryan Vetcher walks away. FC Naples go quickly. Garcia whips one in, header straight up. JP Jordan sees the pressure coming. Takes a fortuitous bounce though. He just held on to it a touch too long, the Texan. O'Connor checking back for it. Kevin O'Connor has been absolutely everywhere as another free kick is protested. JP Jordan given a final warning. To circle back to Kevin O'Connor's positioning for FC Naples. Led the team in assists last year with 5. 4-3-3 on paper, but he's usually stepping up a little bit higher compared to those other 2 midfielders, acting as that liaison between the midfield and forward lines. And right there, it was Gray looking for him as O'Connor made that forward run. Naples still looking to get connected. Now the hosts with the high press. Briscoe able to clear it. Betcher doing well, foiled in the end. Again, very back and forth contest thus far. Neither team has taken a stronghold of the flow of this game. So it is wide open for someone to step up, to be a hero, a piece of individual brilliance to break the deadlock. And that might come here. Referee sees no advantage and will blow the whistle. And Torres is on a yellow card. It looked like a promising attack was building for Fort Wayne. He may be lucky to escape a sending off there. Elsewhere around the league, the deadlock broken between one Knoxville and Westchester. The defending league champions with a 2-1 lead over their Empire State opposition. Whistle sounding once again. There is head coach Mike Avery, first coach in club history, the only coach in club history. The man who has helped build the badge to what it is today. 39, 18, and 12 record all time. Make that 38, 10, and 7 in just the last 2 seasons. Back-to-back division champions in 24 and 25. Both those years conference semifinalists in USL League Two. Meanwhile, Matt Pullen, also the only head coach in FC Naples history. Man who moved down to South Florida 15 years ago with his family, would visit in the off-season when he was coaching and playing, and jumped at the chance to help start a professional team here. Yoder, Master Antonio, Torres now. Cisneros asking for someone to show short. Cias had a pocket, instead sent long. Now Taylor Gray going to work against Reed Sprout. Gray onto his right, and the cross is overhit. Garcia and Farine there to aim at the back post. Just the final pass was missing. Would have been a tap in for either forward. Really good dribbling from Taylor Gray. Does so well to keep his center of gravity low. It's all in the hips. It's so difficult to defend, even of a player of Reed Sproat's caliber. Another player goes over, and the referee will bring it back. Chris Garcia will walk away. After a very bright start to this match, Fort Wayne need to find their way back into the swing of things. Tate Healy, just the player to do it. Lovely idea. And a good sliding challenge to meet it. Max Glasser getting all the way back. That pass breaking between 3, maybe 4 defenders. Great vision from the rookie. Look at that ball. It's perfectly weighted, but Max Glasser able to see that passing lane, just get a half step. This is an Anderson corner kick. Trust your home to Anderson. Javier Armas will wait for just 1 second because it's a bit of a scrum in the goal mouth. As as you can see. Hit the post from a corner earlier, and that one sent to the back post was looking for Thiago Dias, who was looking for a foul in turn. Another look at it. Good weight on the delivery, and Dias just underneath it, was claiming there was a jersey pull there, but how corners are in the modern game, it's very difficult to award a penalty with so much going on in the box. Select is proud to be the official matchball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Cisneros. FC Naples doing a good job of winning the second ball when it's there. No chance to vie for it that time. Armas. Dias. Stroke. Looking for Anthony Hernandez, checking back. All about being adaptable, said head coach Mike Avery for this Fort Wayne side. We know they're going to run into challenges game by game, sometimes minute by minute. This league can be very unpredictable. The caliber of the players have the ability to switch things up at the drop of a hat. But for Fort Wayne, Coach Avery said, the big question is, can they imprint their style of play? Can they express themselves on the ball? Get it right back when they're off of it. They've had a few chances to be creative. They'll want more. Final 15 minutes of this opening half. Healy swings it away, and a chance for the visitors to step up now. Glasser right back in. Player goes down. Referee was right there and motions Andres Farine to his feet. Healy again. Very difficult pass that time. Well read by Yoder. Clever back heel. Armas for Healy. And now forward for Ricol, and closed down effortlessly, it seemed, by Master Antonio. Nervy moment, but took it well, and the yellow card will come out now. Anthony Hernandez, first booking in League One for Fort Wayne. Made 26 appearances for the club in the last 2 seasons in League Two, and see there is a late foot there, and on its own, maybe not a yellow card, but with the persistent infringement, someone was bound to go in the book. Yellow card sponsored by the exclusive personal injury attorneys for FC Naples, the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. Torres. Cisneros leaves it behind for Taylor Gray. Working to his left, and on that weak foot, it's a decent cross. Diving header away. One right back. Garcia now. Told by Torres to send it back. Sent in again. Flicked on, and no one was there. Andres Farine, unselfish, but had no teammates with him. Taylor Gray had stayed deep in midfield. Farine nearly won it right back. JP Jordan again just overestimating how much time he has in the defensive third. Again, that shows the volatility of this league. FC Naples weren't pressing high for the first few minutes. Now they're staying forward, forcing Fort Wayne to play out of the back quickly. How many blue shirts are on your screen? Staying high, making life difficult for the visitors. They found some space now, though. Forward coming all the way back to check in for the ball, still dribbling, and there was one player he couldn't evade. It was the referee. Clever little darting run to the far side. Rico, who played professionally with Chambly-Oise, the French 4th tier. Along to the far side, low cross. Ball to take Healy. Sells one defender, draws two more, and goes over. Referee had to think about it, and we'll say goal kick. Take Healy has been absolutely everywhere in his USL League One debut. Native of Southampton, New Hampshire. And all the way to the 2024 USL League Two Championship with Seacoast United. 13 goals, 11 assists in that campaign, and Team of the Year selection and MVP finalist. As the whistle sounds again, right as Healy was loading the trebuchet. And a very busy first half for Edson Carvajal with the whistle. What will Matt Poland think? Penny for his thoughts on this first half thus far. The mindset for 2026 for him wasn't about building on last year. He said, quote, "A lot of people ask me how we build on last year, but that's if we returned 20 guys. We only returned a couple." And now for him, it's about building on the culture from last year. New faces, old ones in different roles, he said. It's a new journey with a new team. The culture we build on is most important, and that's what also makes it the most exciting. Cisneros. Try and go himself. Hops between two players, continues his run as well. Karine to the far side. Garcia eyeing up the cross towards O'Connor, and Cisneros with a flying right leg almost got a touch to it. Henri Briscoe called back into action. May not have a lot of time to catch his breath though. Antonio wide, and nobody's picked up Max Glasser. O'Connor making the run once again. Glasser keeping it, and the cross denied. Excellent play by Michael Rempel, who wants to throw in his favor. The assistant referee disagrees. Rempel spent the last 4 years in the NAIA. Lindsey Wilson, Conference Defensive Player of the Year award, and Also played in League Two, but for Asheville City, despite being a defender, registered 3 goals and 4 assists across 11 appearances. Line-breaking pass over hit. Thumbs up from Garcia, who made the run. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. FC Naples, well over 4,000 strong for a number of games last year. Coach Matt Pullen says it's those games at home that build the connection, especially when you have games like the last game they played at home. A playoff game against Union Omaha, who were the defending champions at the time. FC Naples won in a PK shootout. Lovely pass for Ricol, and Lalo Delgado snuffs it out. This time you've seen the Frenchman drift a little more centrally, staying high, looking for those passes through. Hasn't had a lot to chew on thus far. Garcia felt a touch from behind, it went over, no foul. Instead of Fort Wayne throw. And the thousands of fans in attendance voicing their displeasure. Arguing maybe they had the better seats for that one. Final few minutes of the opening frame. Deadlocked at zeros. Lilian Ricol with the lone shot on target. Makes the overlapping run now. And it falls to Lilian Ricol. Didn't see any options for the cross. Diaz. Musa, too strong. Both teams settling into their first test. A lot of unknowns on both sides of midfield coming into this game. Physical tussle right at midfield, and there may have been a kick out there. Chris Garcia was upended. JP Jordan will receive a yellow card. Certainly a yellow card worthy challenge, but was there anything more? I don't think so. It's a very awkward fall for JP Jordan. There's nothing that Chris Garcia is looking to do nefariously there. Yellow card to the Texas native. All yellow cards tonight, sponsored by the exclusive personal injury attorneys for FC Naples, the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. So 2 bookings thus far for the visitors, Anthony Hernandez and JP Jordan in midfield. Mark Torres with the lone caution for the hosts, also operating in the center of the park. Cisneros had a chance to break, but O'Connor with a late stud. And it is the aforementioned JP Jordan who's down. Any player knows catching a stud on the top of your boot, not the best feeling in the world. And that is a foul. The ball was gone. There's nothing more in that in terms of force from Kevin O'Connor, but it's certainly a free kick. O'Connor, the man who's represented Ireland at the U17, U18, and U21 level. Lifting 4 trophies as well for Cork City. whole pushing and shoving, and the referee will call it. But the way this match has gone, there may be more bookings to come. Especially again with how frantic the pace is. It's back and forth. The passes into the final third aren't connecting. So it's very unpredictable. Players changing pace quickly, getting all the way up and then having to track all the way back. But again, because of that unpredictability, both teams starting to see their shape deteriorate a little bit. Passing lanes that maybe there weren't there before, like this one for Glasser. Deflected backwards. Now a chance to settle for Garcia! On the stroke of halftime, the new man in town gets the first goal for 2026 for FC Naples. Thunderous strike, stinging the far side netting. And it's 1-0 to the home side. Well, right on cue, the passing lane to the back, the one they've been looking for all game long, FC Naples. Bit of a lucky deflection, then moved along unselfishly rather by Torres, and Garcia got all of that one. Spent most of last year as a defender. He was brought to this team because of what he can do in the final third. Head coach Matt Poland put him on the front line, and it has paid off in minute 45. Fort Wayne, they find themselves unlucky to be behind at the break. Goals tonight brought to you by Hop Size. Still some very bright moments from the Autumn Gold and Black in this first half, and the question now is, can they find more of those? Briscoe was out of position. Gray kept it in, but heavy touch, and the clearance deflects off of him for a goal kick. Just the lone minute of added time, presented by Classic Diamond Plumbing. So that changes things a bit. What looked to be a deadlocked first 45, broken by Chris Garcia. A man who made his professional debut at age 17, now scoring his first in his new colors. FC Naples 1, Fort Wayne 0 at the break. The home side with the lion's share of chances in the final third, and they get one to go right at the end. Tag Healy dismayed, but still a lot of soccer left to be played on the west coast of the Sunshine State. That will do it for the first 45, 1-0 at the break between FC Naples and Fort Wayne FC. Still plenty to come and an exciting halftime show coming your way as well. You won't want to miss it. Stick with us.
More tables, more entertainment, more slots, more fun. More than you expected. There's more in paradise at Seminole Casino Hotel, Immokalee.
Luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. At Parker Hudson Homes, we craft bespoke residences where elegance meets effortless comfort. From custom builds to refined remodels, every detail is designed around you, your style, your vision, your way of living. Create a home that's truly yours and discover Parker Hudson Homes today.
Welcome back, 1-0 at the break. But before we go any further, we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at how corners work in the modern game, and who better to ask than the FC Naples goalkeeping coach, Tony Halterman. Take a look.
Now, as a professional, for you, what's going through your head during these moments?
Yeah, so there's a lot that takes place. We have to, as a goalkeeper, we got to assign marks like zonally where people are going to stand across the top of the 6-yard box, across maybe around the penalty area, who's man marking. We have to determine if there's anybody short that's posing a threat. We have to decide if it's an in-swinging cross, meaning if it's coming from this side, are they whipping it in with their left foot? Is it an out-swinger? So that'd be using their right foot and curling it out this way. That helps us determine where we need to position our guys here. Maybe there's a guy that's standing on top of us inside the box. We got to figure out the sun, obviously, right now is another thing that determines a factor. So all these things are going through our mind. We have to be very quick with our communication, and we still have to be locked in and engaged on the ball the whole time.
And I know that you're also not only just a goalie here, but you're also the goalie coach as well.
Yep.
So let's say I'm over here, right?
Yeah.
And I am telling you, I'm like, all right, coach, kind of give me some pointers. I'm right here. We're about to have that corner kick. What are we doing?
So first thing we're going to look at, obviously based again off of in-swinging and out-swinging, right? So we'll pretend that's an out-swinger. So it's going to be a right foot ball that's being hit out. So what I like to do is about 2/3, 3/4 of the way back in my goal, and I'm usually, for me, depending on how comfortable we are, probably about this far off my line. Because it's an out-swinger, I know I can cheat further out. If it was a lefty hitting the ball, I have to stay closer to my line in case they want to shoot.
Wow.
Being out further off my line allows me to attack balls further out that way. So that's kind of the first thing, and then we want to be on like a 3/4 turn like this, so now I can see the whole area of the field. If I'm too tight here, I can't see what's going on behind me. So that's kind of a basic starting position that we're looking for, and then you're keeping an eye on what's around you here. So I'm gonna walk back here, I'm gonna throw you a ball, and let's kind of see what you can do with it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're going to throw me the ball?
Now, if you're having an issue seeing the ball, catch where the sun is. That usually gets you through it. Try to catch the sun, yep.
All right. Oh my gosh. Oh. Whoa, I actually did catch it, and it was right in the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're going through this with all your team here, what are you communicating to them?
So pre-match we'll have assignments. The coaches will kind of put together who's man marking, who's zonally, and so guys ahead of time know what their assignments are going to look like and have an idea, and so that helps us as goalkeepers with our communication. If guys know where they're supposed to be, that's kind of one less thing that takes the stress off of us.
USL League One kicks off. Players Shield winners. He does it again. Their first ever goal in club history.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prank Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Sink your toes into soft, white sand, splash in the sparkling waters of the Gulf, and revel in the warmth of sunny blue skies. Take a moment to breathe in the salt-touched air and listen to the tide as it rises and falls along the shoreline. This is paradise in every sense, and winter here simply feels wonderful. Experience it yourself in Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Phil Galani back with you on the south coast of Florida. FC Naples and Fort Wayne 1-0 at the break, but there's some other games kicking off the 2026 USL League One season. We'll take a look at some of the scores, and truthfully, a lot build for tonight, and there have been some unexpected events. One of them is a weather delay between Sarasota Paradise and AC Boise, so that one will have to wait. Meanwhile, 3-1 at halftime, one Knoxville seeing a brace in the first half from Denis Kruchenkov in his professional debut, along with another forward Madison player, John Murphy Jr., getting on the score sheet. Connor McGlynn pulling one back from 12 yards for the visitors. Westchester, AVL and Richmond kick off their campaign tonight at 10:30 on ESPN+. Let's take a look around the league now and what's new.
It is halftime in USL League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for this week. League One matches history from last season by adding 5 expansion clubs this year. AC Boise, Corpus Christi FC, Fort Wayne FC, New York Cosmos, and Sarasota Paradise are tied for the largest expansion class in League One history. And 2 of those expansion clubs, Fort Wayne and Boise, are closing in on grand openings of new stadiums. Fort Wayne kicks off a 5-game homestand on May 2nd. Boise opens its home ground against a geographical rival, Spokane Velocity, in early April. We have many storylines to watch this year, including one of the rising stars in League One, Richmond Kickers goalkeeper James Sneddon. The Kickers Academy product signed his first professional contract in 2025, then recorded 7 shutouts and 34 appearances. All right, over in the USL Championship, upcoming matches presented in Spanish on TUDN beginning next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern start. Detroit City hosting Brooklyn FC. Then Wednesday, the 25th, Lexington FC hosts Brooklyn at 7 Eastern. And on Saturday, the 28th, another 4 p.m. Eastern match at Detroit City, this time against Charleston Battery. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Let's get you back to your match for the second half.
Partnership between O&E, Orthopedics Northeast, and Parkview Sports Medicine is unique because our team is taking care of the athlete in their own environment on the field. O&E is the other end of our treatment when someone actually does have an injury that requires a specialist care.
We have athletic trainers, we have the physical therapists, and everyone's important. Everyone has a role to play because our goal's the same. We're just trying to get these athletes back to doing what they love to do.
More tables, more entertainment, more slots, More fun. More than you expected. There's more in paradise at Seminole Casino Hotel, Immokalee.
One half down, one half to go. FC Naples lead at the break, 1-0. Halftime brought to you by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Let's take a look at how that first half went down. The very first 45 minutes in professional soccer history for Fort Wayne FC Naples in just their second season after setting their own history last year. 4 minutes in, what looked like a promising opportunity for Kevin O'Connor denied. Ari Briscoe getting across his line to get a left glove to it, and then just a minute later, right the other way, Lydian Ricol, the Frenchman, with two options to his right, elects to take it himself, isn't really able to close down that angle, but Lalo Delgado does. Big save made, the lone shot on target of the first half for the visitors. This one, though, was close, off the post. Chaos in the box. We just saw how to defend those corners from Tony Halteman. FC Naples might need to listen to him in the locker room. But this was the goal in the 45th minute. Chris Garcia, take a bow. Bouncing ball, half volley, no problemo. And celebrates with the fans in his new colors. First goal of the FC Naples season, 5 shots on target. As that first half went on, they started to settle things a little bit, especially Taylor Gray on the near side, really providing some width. Possession was almost right down the middle, though. Fort Wayne want to boss the ball. They almost did that despite being down at the interval with a couple yellow cards as well. We saw that game start to get a little chippy, so this second half might just prove very interesting indeed. If you are just joining us, Philip Galati with you. Thanks so much. FC Naples on the left side of your screen, the navy blue. It is Chris Garcia chatting it up with Kevin O'Connor, who led the side last year with 5 assists. It looks like the instructions have been issued to the players. Meanwhile, Fort Wayne in their autumn gold and black. A valiant effort and still a lot of soccer to be played. Ryan Betcher, the former Union Omaha man at the center of your screen, who had 8 goals, 3 assists, despite joining just halfway through the season, was good enough to finish second in scoring for the 2024 USL League One champions. No changes made for either head coach at the break. Head coach Matt Poland and the hosts, it was about building on the culture of last year. They want this team to be known for its intensity, building from the back. They have done that thus far despite some high pressure from Fort Wayne. Credit, though, to Poland and company finding a way to build around it. Meanwhile, head coach Mike Avery wants his Fort Wayne side to be known for their adaptability, their ability to command things on the ball, and the creativity that he has in front of him. So many talented players, and again, a very back and forth first half. It took something special to break that deadlock, as now the second half gets rolling. Four at the back on paper for Fort Wayne, sometimes shifting to 5 without possession. As that first half went along, it was more so that traditional number 4. They just allow the wingers to get a little bit higher, see more of the ball. Rempel winning it now for Harmas. Sproat. That's exactly what this team is looking for. Great passing accuracy, good build-up, and that's certainly a foul. Luca Mastrantonio can't believe the call, but at first glance, seemed to pull down, I believe, Ryan Betcher. Mastrantonio, who played for Union Omaha the season before Ryan Betcher joined Los Brujos. Now promising set piece for Michael Rempel. Plenty of bodies forward in autumn gold. Rempel to the back post. Delgado tracking it. Got a hand to it, but still alive. Only for a moment. Skied out of play, and Delgado is in a spot of bother. Big role for him coming into this year, said his head coach Matt Poland. One of the few returning players for this FC Naples side, and it's a tough challenge on the back foot to see that one as it drops, and does enough in the end. Coach Poland saying everybody knows number one for his shot stopping. What people don't know about him is his communication skills, how effectively he is able to relay information and get his back line in line. And now that he's a returner, Coach Poland's saying definitely be one of the key components of sharing that philosophy now that he's played with it. This is Aiden Macias now. Plenty of green in front of him. Not closed down, and plays a weighted ball through that Thiago Dias will just shuffle out of play. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Reyes, that's a lovely pass through. Taylor Gray springing forward, looking for a final touch. It cleared away, right back in, and volleyed just high. Andres Farine settling it off the thigh, trying to guide it to the top corner. The placement evades him. Taylor Gray again providing that spark down the left-hand side. Cisneros does well to follow that up. It's a difficult one for Andres Farine. 3 goals last year, including the first in club history. That void yet to be filled for Fort Wayne in USL League One. Not for lack of trying. Hit the woodwork off the corner. And then Lilian Richo one-on-one denied by Lau Delgado. Whistle sounds and a free kick right in front of Mike Avery for his side. Again, we talked about that physical play in the first half. 3 yellow cards thus far. Looks like that will continue into the second. It's a long way out to swing this one in. Hit very well though, and the referee saw something he didn't like. pointing right at James Musa, who looked to get on the end of it. FC Naples is holding a high line, maybe some pushing and shoving in there. Musa with 5 senior caps for New Zealand. Born in England, but moved to the country at age 7. Even appearing in the 2012 London Olympic Games for the Kiwis. A bit of a homecoming for him. A lengthy professional career after the fact for the 33-year-old. Karmas can't get through, and the referee brings it back. Just like that first half, in the second, Fort Wayne starting very bright. It only took 5 minutes to get their first shot on target. The problem for them was in the next 40 minutes, they didn't get another. They can keep the pressure on. It took FC Naples a lot of time to figure out how to play through the high press and how to connect the lines. They get put under duress again. Fort Wayne can find their way right back into this one. Betcher making the run, forcing Glasser to make a play. The defender goes down, the cross comes in, and it's nearly tapped home. Tay Gailey was right on the doorstep. The player down inside the goal. There's that pressure we're talking about. Ryan Betcher does well to keep the cross low. It takes a touch on its way through and then cleared away by Julian Cisneros, who got the ball and needed to. It was Lilian Ricol who was battling for it and ended up crashing into the back of the net. I'm saying that's a foul every day, but like the defender got to the ball first. Mike Avery has to have the memory of the goldfish. Gotta forget that chance and create new ones, but again, promising start to the second half for his side. And who has helped oversee the development of this team in the last 5 years to what it is now. And here's another look at it. Is there a touch from the defender? Looks like it. That's very close. The referee right there. Poland taking a few looks at it as well. From the way the ball spins and the trajectory it takes, it looked like the left foot of Julian Cisneros gets there. Now, the conversation is, does he go through the back of Lilian Ricol to do that? And if so, that's a foul. Referee says no. That is as close as Fort Wayne have come to getting back on level terms. The lone strike of the match in the 45th minute for Chris Garcia, the El Paso native, hitting the ground running with his new side. Macias, check of the shoulder, thought about the long ball, instead wide for Cisneros. Torres, he'll try the long one now. Awkward one for Garcia. That one escapes him. And again, the interesting story about Chris Garcia, if you missed the first half, was the fact that he played so many minutes last year on the back line for Forward Madison. The head coach Matt Poland told us earlier this week when he was scouting him that he saw the ability he had in the final third. So put him on that front line tonight, and it really was a forwards finish in the end for Garcia. May even be a goal of the week candidate for week number 1. Keeps this one in play, but the nutmeg is a no-go. Betcher needs reinforcements, instead tries to force the pass. much more poise on the ball, building from the back for FC Naples in this second half, really since the 30th minute or so. Rico went down injured, is already back on the field. Second to that bouncing ball. Sproat was first to that one, and there was a push there from Taylor Gray. You have to be careful going up for an aerial challenge like that, because if you stay down and make contact with the player in the air, it can really result in some scary possibilities. Stern word from the referee to Taylor Gray. Betcher doesn't get the call. Parmas gets the ball. Healy. Diaz. Ricol. Able to be kept in bounds. Interestingly, Michael Rempel, the left back, going to go all the way to the far side to take this one. You'll see why in a moment. Hardly any autumn gold shirts on your screen. They're all in the box. Paraguayan loads the cannon. Instead, fakes it and goes short. FC Naples weren't ready for it. Ball swung to the back post, has plenty of height. Headed back across. Sproat fighting for it and kept it in play. Jordan. This is Tag Healy! And it's over the bar. Down in a heap as well. May have had some contact after he went to strike. But now Fort Wayne manufacturing these second chance opportunities, something they didn't do in the first half. Unselfish from Diaz to head it back across. Jordan with a good find and then a clever touch. Very difficult shot for Healy. Closed down rapidly, but already right back up and wrong-footing a defender and passing it to a teammate. Hernandez now swung in. Glasser uncontested. Garcia looking to run. Trying to evade Musa and Rempel. And the latter gets the job done. That's a poor back pass right to the feet of Andres Farine. O'Connor streaking forward and headed away by Reed Sproat. Hometown hero. Able to get all the way back and kept that chance alive just a few seconds ago at the other end. He's covered some serious ground tonight in his professional debut. Second corner kick of the evening, first of the second half for FC Naples. Fort Wayne have 3 thus far. Connor to deliver. Driven to the back stick and headed over. On his back foot was Luca Mastrantonio. Another incredible fan presence tonight for the home opener for FC Naples. Hearing the noise all night long, and that is something that head coach Mike Avery was looking forward to. For Fort Wayne, they've had incredible fan support in their own right the last few years, but traveling to face environments like this is what makes it exciting, he said. Just the one goal separating these two sides thus far. Going over. Referee lets it run. Real advantage in the end as Briscoe just about manages to keep that one alive. Named to the conference team of the year last year in USL League Two with Fort Wayne, and this is a nifty move from the visitors. Healy, wrong-footed for just a second. Jordan with the first-time ball. Rempel to slow it down. Karmas. Diaz. Sproat told to go long. Jordan goes over. Referee says the ball was won. Now Gray skipping away. Garcia wants it on the near side. Instead, Farine with the fancy footwork, and Taylor Gray nearly doubles the advantage. The best look of the night for him, dragged just wide of the far post. Waiting for it patiently. It's a decent first touch. The second one just evades him. Looked like he picked his head up as he went to strike it. Again, he's been a real creator on that far side. Hasn't been often that we see him drift a little more centrally and get on the end of chances, but another chance for him now. Gray going over. Referee says no dice. Ricol now the other way. Naples out of position, but not a ton of shirts with him. Ricol got to do it himself, and does. It's a great cross, and Delgado wins it through contact. Naples protesting there may have been an arm there from Ryan Betcher. Take one more look at it. Credit to Lilian Ricol for the move, and you could see there is a bit of a push there from Betcher once he knew he lost it. There may be a case in there for a yellow card from FC Naples, but it's not the strongest push you've ever seen. Still, frustration showing a bit for Ryan Betcher, but Coach Mike Avery says this is exactly the moments he needs players like Betcher, who have prior experience in this league, to step up and keep their composure. The game can be unpredictable at this level. They're gonna be battle tested, and that battle may look different from minute 1 to minute 45 to minute 90. You've got to keep their heads. Karmas, great move, stymied. Healy collects and continues. Hernandez. Sproat. That one had to hurt. Sproat does well to win it back, but given right away, and then Diaz into the parking lot. Well, the saying goes, if in doubt, kick it out, but you gotta feel sorry for the poor kid who's gotta go get the ball. Fort Wayne creating much more in this second half. They've already equaled their shot tally from the first 45 minutes. Just under 20 minutes in the second frame. Diaz entering his third season with the captain's armband with Fort Wayne. Second in club history for appearances with 38, fourth in goals with 6. He's an All-America East team selection at Bryant last year. Garcia, the goal scorer, standing over it with O'Connor to his right. Will be the former to play it in. A body goes down. No whistle yet. Good work by the forward as we go. Help get it away. Now the clock stops. Rather starts. If you're unfamiliar with the rule changes going into this year, goalkeepers, once they have control of the ball in their hands, 8 seconds to play it. Otherwise, the other team gets a corner kick. That's why Lalo Delgado was just waiting until he was closed down to pick it up. Cias, great ball. Farine trying to find his footing. Too many bodies there. Now O'Connor wanted to guide it into that upper 90. It sails wide of the mark. This is the experience of Kevin O'Connor shining through. A lot of players see that ball, their eyes light up like a deer in headlights. They want to strike it with every bit of power they have, but watch the hips from O'Connor. Opens up, cushioning the ball with the inside of his left foot. Takes the power off it, just trying to pass it into the far post. But in the end, it looks like he may just lean back a little bit, and that's what guides it off course. Now the first change of the night. Substitutions presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Umakali. More in paradise. That's a flurry of changes as well. JP Jordan taken off. Jeremy Garay set to come on. So too is Trace Thierry. Thierry, the Ohio native, making his pro debut. As well as Tay Keeley, again, a real bright spot in this match thus far, replaced by Clarence Aoudor. Aoudor, a native of Saint-Lô in France, and was college teammates with his fellow countryman Lilian Ricol at UCF. Maybe the French connection will pay off in this second half. Both players helped UCF to their first Sun Belt title in program history last year, with Aoudor setting the single season assist record with 15. Lovely dummy. May still be alive, only for a moment. Michael Rempel just a half second late to that, but it's a very clever move. And now you're starting to see the way that Fort Wayne can express themselves on the ball and being unpredictable, being creative, taking risks. Without those, you don't get a reward. 70th minute from Paradise Coast Sports Complex in Naples, Florida. Philip Galati with you. The opening weekend of the 2026 USL League One season. Thanks so much for joining us. Elsewhere around the league, Knoxville cushioning their 3-1 lead against Westchester. Sarasota Paradise and AC Boise both awaiting kickoff for their first match in the league after a delay. And then at 10:30, stick around, AV Alta and the Richmond Kickers with some lovely new threads as well, if you're a fan of kits. At 10:30 Eastern. See Naples with a nice new home shirt, and of course Fort Wayne with a new color scheme this year, the autumn gold and black. Very snazzy look for the visitors as a blue flare flies at the far side. The noise, the support has been non-stop thus far. Macias. See how high now the back line has gone for FC Naples. Macias is a midfielder. He was right back there with the two center halves. O'Connor trying to keep the width. He's lined up in the middle of the park as well. There's a mistake and maybe a chance here on the break. Thierry keeping the ball and his footing. Hernandez on the overlap and skies the cross. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Those are the chances that Fort Wayne have to make the most of. Defender stepping up out of position. Again, very difficult run to make across the far side for Trace Thierry. Did well to keep it, but the cross left lacking. That looked to be a better ball at first from Torres to Ferrin. Down looping up over the head of the 5'8" Colombian. Taylor Gray sprinting away once again, running out of real estate, somehow keeping it alive and winning a throw. 3 shirts around him. It's great individual play from a man who, again, didn't have a ton of action last year in USL League One. 2/3 of his appearances came off the bench, managed 1 goal. Now in a starting role, you can see the impact and the presence that he brings to this side. Former DC United Academy player, named to the NISA Best 11. Now really starting to find his footing here in South Florida. Master Antonio. Connor. Almost acting as a number 9 now, the midfielder. Going up for duels and trying to find teammates. Throw in right by the corner flag for the hosts. Offside right in front of the AR. And a player of Glasser's caliber usually knows better. Final quarter of an hour plus stoppage time. Fort Wayne have been right there throughout this match, but as of now, it is FC Naples to open the campaign with all 3 points. Still oodles of time for that to change. Glasser going over, and it was Clarence Aoudor committing the foul. Looked to be a physical back and forth. Referee again in very good positioning. Speaking of positioning, there will be a change now. Andres Ferrin hurried off the pitch by the center official. To be replaced by Dominic Backstein. Another USL League Two standout with the Des Moines Menace. 11 goals in 12 appearances for them. And now in his 2nd year with the club. Juan Osorio as well, making his FC Naples debut, replacing Aiden Macias. Substitutions are presented by Seminole Casino Hotel, Imokele, more in paradise. Osorio, 8 appearances last year in the USL Championship for San Antonio. O'Connor to swing this one in. Led the team in assists last year. That one won by the visitors. Backstein immediately into the fray. Does well to keep it alive. Osorio as well finding his footing after coming off the bench. 3 changes available for FC Naples, 2 left for Fort Wayne. Nice move by Thierry. There's the smart thing. Plays it back for James Musa. Rempel. Good looking ball. Aoudor. For Thierry now. Aoudor short. Picol. Sprout. Numbers forward for Fort Wayne. First ball crossed in, deflected. Second one picked up by Harmas. Look to take a deflection, and it's just wide. Goodness, that was close. Wow, Delgado completely wrong-footed. Javier Harmas doing well on his left foot, and it does come off of Master Antonio. His arms are by his side, though, if there were any appeals for handball. Corner kick presented by Anderson. Dresser home to Anderson. Now Michael Rempel gets the green light. Again, a cluster of bodies at the near post and a lot of movement. Ball to the back post, and there was a pretty clear pull there by Thiago Diaz. 2 hands grabbing the jersey of the man in front of him. There may be a good bit of added time as well to come with the way this match has gone. 3 yellow cards in the first half, none in the second, but still stoppages for the substitutions and the various times the ball has gone out of touch. Naples searching for their second. O'Connor does well to win a throw, but in a heap is James Musa, former Indy 11 man in the USL Championship. Aggressive from O'Connor, but referee said got the ball first. Artemis with a smirk, he disagrees. Again, it's a 50-50 right there. Difficult to tell, but the AR is right on top of it and no hesitation, raising the flag for the throw-in. Athletic trainer has come on though for James Musa. Nervy moments for the thousands in attendance here. They'll likely need another goal from their side if the nerves are to calm. But so far, FC Naples in the driver's seat. On the road to 3 points. Final 2 changes lining up for head coach Mike Avery. Musa now back on his feet. It will be Jaden Smith making his professional debut. He turns 20 on Monday. Comes on for Anthony Hernandez. While it is Juan Solis who will replace James Moose at the back. .22 appearances for Solis for Real Santander. Colombia's second division, also appeared for his country at the U18 level. Towering frame at 6'8". And already fighting for it, and there was a push there right in front of the referee. And it didn't take long for Solis to have an impact, but the referee deeming it not a positive one. Fighting for it. He doesn't really have a lot of time to stop his momentum. It's certainly a foul, but again, nothing untoward. All sent long and ends in a throw-in. Final few minutes from Paradise Coast Sports Complex. Is there drama to be had? Osorio. Forced all the way back to Delgado. Solis again hounding the goalkeeper. Fort Wayne had it for just a moment, but again, the pressure from FC Naples in the second half stepped up considerably since the first few minutes of the game. Backstein. Cisneros. Out of contact, but referee says everything legal. Play on. Good header from Thierry. Solis trying to get there. Smart play by Glasser. Whistle sounds, and the referee right on top of it. You can see the tempers flaring. Lilian Ricol tripping up Julian Cisneros. Looks like no yellow card, despite fervent pleas from the home fans. You could see Cisneros was irate, getting right up in his face after it. That may just crank the temperature of this match up a couple notches. Throwing too strong. Going over was Yoder. Referee says no foul on Solis this time. Corner kick. It's amazing what this club has done, Fort Wayne. 5 years ago, head coach Mike Gainbridge says it was notes on napkins, just a thought of what could be. Now, after an amazing career in USL League Two, they're playing professional soccer. Still time to steal a point in this one tonight. Headed back in front and was nearly the opening goal in USL League One history for the visitors. Diaz spinning away, starting at the near post, then back in front. Somehow scrambled off the line. Rempel. Away by Backstein. Diaz with the check of the shoulder. He's got time to settle. Another change being readied for FC Naples, who do well to push Fort Wayne all the way back. Solis, good header. A little strong. Trace Thierry, since coming on, really opening things up in the final third for the visitors. Connor too heavy. Stroke keeping it alive. 87th minute. Make that 88. Now, that substitution will enter the contest. Taylor Gray with a memorable performance. The first for his new crest, to be replaced by Jaden Strumeyer in his professional debut. Strumeyer, a native of New Jersey, played his college ball with UNC Wilmington. Over 4,400 minutes at the NCAA Division I level. Strumeyer, defender on paper, so head coach Matt Pullen looking to assure this result. Backstein can do it here! What a chip that is! The youngster wraps up all 3 points for FC Naples. Dominic Backstein, take a bow. Only on the field for a little more than 10 minutes. It's a poor back pass. He sees the goalkeeper off his line, effortlessly cushions the ball with a looping effort. Laurie Briscoe left stranded, and the hosts look to have done the job in week 1 in 2026. Had 1 goal last year in 7 appearances against the then defending champions Union Omaha back in October. Former Des Moines Menace player, 1 for 1 on the new campaign tonight. All goals tonight presented you by Hopsize Brewing Company. Fort Wayne still with the chance to claw back. 90th minute plus injury time to follow. Smith, saved by Delgado. Took an awkward touch at the near post. Sent back in, and this one's out of play. Looked maybe to have come off a defender last. We'll take another look at it. Fort Wayne very close to having the deficit. Stoppage time presented by Classic Diamond Plumbing, and it will be 6 minutes. Look forward towards Backstein. Does well to keep it in the corner. hands off a Naples player last. Briscoe urging everyone forward. Still a great effort tonight by Fort Wayne. So much to look forward to with this club in 2026. One of 4 new teams joining the fold in USL League One. Head coach Mike Gainbridge says this is the first real test for us. It's going to be a learning experience. Every week we have the chance to do better, and as long as we can do that, I think this side is going to be a very exciting watch. Ian Cerro returns to the pitch after nearly 1,200 minutes for the club last year. Max Glasser replaced after a solid day's work. Cerro managed to grab an assist in his very first start last year against forward Madison. Not on to see this one out. Torres. Garcia now is dropped all the way back. Cerro goes over. Referee says play on. All stayed in just about. Maxstein lost it in the air. Rempel puts it right back into the sky. Automas dispossessed by Osorio. O'Connor sticks with it for a moment. Naples in no rush to go forward. Nearly a poor giveaway though. Fort Wayne in numbers would have been a 4-on-2. Joshua Yoder, thankful to see that one out of play. Cerro. O'Connor. Not on the same wavelength. Next up for Fort Wayne, they'll stay in the Sunshine State. A trip to Sarasota Paradise, another new club, in League One this season. FC Naples will look to make it 2 on the bounce when they take on Corpus Christi next weekend. Again, more League One action still on the cards tonight. AB Alta and the Richmond Kickers begin play at 10:30 Eastern. Cheer clocks are set. For FC Naples, a lot of turnover from setting history last year, the first ever expansion team to host a playoff game in their debut season. Coach Matt Poland said it was a very busy time for them. They lost to eventual champions, Knoxville, in the semifinals on a Sunday. The very next day, on Monday, the exit interviews for some of the players. Had a lot of time to try and find their guys, and they are firing on all cylinders in week 1. Cerro, industrious bit of play to keep it alive, headed back toward him. First to it was Hanamas. Final minute now from Perez Coast Sports Complex. Torres looking toward the corner, keeping an eye on the box. Now Cerro. Throw in for Naples. Cerro upended, free kick. This will likely be the final play. Hands on hips for Michael Rempel. He's played well tonight. Seen him especially on the dead ball scenarios, corners, some really good deliveries. Fort Wayne on set pieces. Going to be something to look out for in 2026. And there is the final whistle. It may be new faces with the badge, but it's the same old FC Naples, dominant at home. A clean sheet, 2 goals, and all 3 points in their 2026 USL League One season opener. Chris Garcia and Dominic Baxter, the 2 names on the score sheet. Lalo Delgado, 9 clean sheets in 2025. He's got his first for the new campaign. Save of the match is presented by Carter Fence. Quality fences, trusted service for over 35 years, and it was that last chance at the end. It came off, it looked like Julian Cisneros right at the corner of the 6-yard box. Parried away by the goalkeeper. Shown some love by the young FC Naples faithful. 2-0 the final, but our post-game show on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
When you taste freshness straight from the Gulf, prepared by creative chefs who are always raising the bar, it elevates your appreciation for what dining can be. From today's catch to international cuisine, there's always something new to sample. And with flavors this remarkable, you can't help but realize this is paradise in every sense. Taste it yourself in Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Head coach Matt Poland leading the team to 13 wins last year, 9 of them at home, 1-for-1 in 2026, 2-0 the final from the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights of what has been a thrilling contest and the League One debut of Fort Wayne FC. Full-time highlights brought to you by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Care for every goal. Nearly won in the 5th minute for the Frenchman Lilian Ricol. Streaking away after a miscommunication at the back. One-on-one with Lalo Delgado, and number 1 comes out on top. Big body save from the keeper. Fast forward to the 45th minute, and the first goal would find the back of the net. First ball crossed in, deflected, falls to Torres. 1 touch, and a second that was absolutely venomous from Chris Garcia, the El Paso, Texas native, off the mark in his new colors. 1-0 going into the break in favor of FC Naples. 88th minute, and the second goal for the hosts from the youngster Dominic Baxter. Thiago Diaz with a poor giveaway. 1 touch was all he needed. Number 18 with his first of the campaign, equaling his tally from last season in 7 substitute appearances, wrapping up the W for FC Naples at home. Here were the final stats. 20 shots split right down the middle. Fort Wayne wanted to possess the ball. They were behind at the halftime break. They ended up winning the possession game, and again, off those 6 corners, they looked so dangerous. They hit the post once. There were a couple of great saves. In the end, it is all 3 points and a clean sheet for FC Naples, but a lot to look forward to for Fort Wayne in their debut professional campaign. That will do it, though, for tonight. Plenty of other USL League One action as well. Sarasota Paradise, AC Boise about to kick off on ESPN+. But 2-0 the final between FC Naples and Fort Wayne from the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. For everybody behind the scenes making tonight's broadcast possible, our producer Hunter Nixon, I've been Philip Galati saying so long and thanks so much. Good night!
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.